Right, go for it, Adam. Should be on with a bit of luck.
Hello and welcome to Doubles and Trebles. We should be live on YouTube, so thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday evening. We're back with another golf preview. This will be week number 6. But first, let's get first things first. I said Pieman was threatening to detonate a bomb. And last week, Pieman did just that. He detonated a 50-1 bomb, a 50-1 winner on the golf, courtesy of the Pieman, Jason Kokrak. That puts us safely in profit for all 3 sports we cover: darts, golf and racing. We've had darts winners 28-1, Johnny Clayton the other week. We've had horses ranging from 7-2 to 18-1 winners. Now Pieman's finished it off, puts a cherry on the top of the cake for May 2021 with a 50-1 winner in the golf. Pieman, you must be pleased with yourself.
Oh well, I was pretty pleased with myself, to be honest. Yeah, it was long overdue after we had a couple of near misses on the place front and stuff like that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I managed to take in the Sunday action. I had a bit of a busy bank holiday weekend with various commitments, but I settled myself down on Sunday evening to watch it unfold. And yeah, I mean, look, when Kokrak got, it was him and Spieth pulled sort of 4 clear of the field. Spieth was in at 2-5, Kokrak 7-4. That seemed about right, but I was kind of quietly confident, to be honest, because Spieth had been hauling some monster putts on the Saturday, and you always wonder whether he can sustain that. He is a magician when he's on form around the greens, but yeah, I don't know. He just never really looked at it on the Sunday, Spieth. I knew we had a chance, and fair play to Kokrak. He really held himself together. Pulled 2 or 3 shots clear with 5 or 6 holes left. It was a bit of a nervy finish, to be honest. He went bogey at the end, but Spieth by this point had kind of fell apart. He ended up going in the water in 18, which was the moment that I knew we were in the bag with the 50-1 winner. And yeah, it seems like a couple of people managed to follow suit. So always better when the followers are benefiting from a rare winning pick. Well, a not so rare winning pick as it goes.
Well, yeah, absolutely fantastic, Pieman. So just to confirm, last week you staked 6 points and you returned 62 points. So that's not too bad. Like I say, it puts us clearly in profit on the golf. This is week number 6, 5 weeks so far. You've staked 29 points and you returned 75. So, you know, we're certainly going in the right direction. No pressure then, Pieman. This week we're at the Memorial. Do you fancy your chances this week?
Well, I'll certainly try. I feel like we've got all the eyes on now, and it's going to be hard to back that up. But I'll certainly give it my best shot.
Well, we say all the eyes are on us, but you know, our golf content, we need a few more views out there. So come on, give us a view. We're backing it up with winners, you know, and we'll see how we get on this week. So
50-1 winner might help that cause, I feel. Yeah, but I mean, it could be a case of after the Lord Mayor's show, I think.
They'll be getting on the bandwagon now.
You've all come for the losers just in time.
Yeah. With the guys that have been here from day one, the handful of you, well, fair play. Thanks for being here. So yeah, before we get into the picks at the Memorial this week, Pieman, just tell us a bit about the course. Muirfield, is it? Jack Nicklaus designed, am I right there?
Yeah, Muirfield Village, been the host since the 1970s. So we talked about Colonial being a classic course on the tour last week, and this is very much the same. Nearly 50 years of since this tournament's inception. Memorial, it's an invitational tournament, so. Yeah, one we're used to seeing. It's always got an elite field. But there was a point in time where this was becoming a little bit of one that a lot of the top pros would overlook. But last year, we had a really, really unusually strong field after the return of golf from COVID. We've got another strong field again this year by the looks of it. But just on the course, the great man Jack Nicklaus designed this one. And he always likes to make a few tweaks to it on an annual basis. But he's really gone to town on it this year. He's ripped up the greens on all 18 holes. He ripped them up literally as the tournament was finishing last year. So as the last group were playing, the 13th and 14th, they were already in there with the pitchforks ripping the greens to bits. He wanted to give it a good shake-up. He said in his comments, I've been trying to listen to Jack Nicklaus's comments to try and get a few clues of what he might have done to this course. And he's kind of said he wants to make it a course that works for the members rather than the professionals. So I'm not sure how to quite read that really, because this course, it hosted another tournament last year called the Workday. And when it hosted the Workday, it played a little bit too easy, to be honest. And that seemed to really piss Nicklaus off. You know, he he tightened things up significantly by the time we got round to the Memorial Tournament. It was only a week later, but the pin positions had changed, a few hole layouts had changed, and it played brutally tough. John Rahm was the eventual winner, but yeah, this was a really, really tough test last year. I personally think it's going to land somewhere in the middle of those two. I'm still expecting this to be a thorough test. We can't know for sure, given what he's done to the course, i.e. changing a hell of a lot, but it could be a case that course form from previous years is a little bit out the window this week, but only time's going to tell. If we do look back to previous winners, I think it's fair to say that you've got to keep the ball in play and your scrambling's got to be pretty good here. Regardless, strokes gained approach, again, is going to be a key metric, something I've said a lot in recent weeks, but, Jack Nicklaus courses tend to be considered a second shot course, but I think undoubtedly, look at the last three winners, for example, John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Cantlay, all huge hitters of the ball. So there's no doubt that if you can drive it, it's an advantage if you can drive it a long way. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays. To be honest, we are going in blind to an extent, but I quite like that. I'll probably put a little bit more emphasis than I would on current form while we have less sort of course form to go on. So yeah, a little bit of a blind spot this week, but I like it.
Those last three winners you mentioned there, Pyman, feature heavily at the top of the market, which I'm going to run through now. I must say that away from the major that we've covered, in the time that we've been doing the golf, this looks to be the strongest field that have assembled here. You was telling me that a few of these boys had last week off after the major, and now they're returning here. And I think it's on an invitation only kind of strategy to get in, a little bit complicated, which you may cover. But before we get there, I'll just run you through the top of the market as we always do. John Rahm is there at 11 to 1, Spieth 16, Thomas 16, Rory McIlroy 16 also, and then we've got DeChambeau and Hovland and Morikawa at 18. Then it's Xander Schauffele at 22, Cantlay, who you've mentioned, at 22, Matsuyama at 25, and the rest are 33 to 1 and bigger, Pyma.
Yeah, it's a really strong field, to be honest. Last year we had literally every man and his dog turning up because of that enforced break through COVID. They were all playing like every tournament going, trying to get the money back that they'd lost. But yeah, we've got a US Open on the horizon. We've had the US PGA recently as well, so we're right in the thick of major season. A lot of these guys had last week off, didn't play the Charles Schwab Challenge. Obviously we had Spieth there as a local boy, and there was a couple of others, but yeah, a lot of names that we haven't seen since a fortnight ago. If you want, I could dive you straight in with my first pick, if you like.
Yeah, straight on. That's what people are tuned in for, Pyman. Straight on. How many back in this week?
Just the three as normal on a standard week, and 4 for a major is what I've been working with. Continued that. These are all going to be a point each way, so pretty simple to follow. Just you put these 3 guys on with the same stake, and you won't go far wrong in terms of following the system. I can't guarantee winners, that's for sure. But I can, I can certainly give you my rationale behind these lot. The first 2 that I've put up actually are at the same price. They're both in there at 22 to 1. One of them is a previously mentioned ex-winner, Patrick Cantlay, who won this tournament 3 years ago, and also Xander Schauffele. They're both in there at 22 to 1, 8 places with the same supplier, so a point each way there. Let me just start you with Cantlay. Well, actually, let me first just start you with why I haven't put up any of the guys above them in the betting. With it being a stacked field, we see all these guys crammed in at a similar price. It's very rare, aside from a major, that you would see 7 or 8 players under the 25 to 1 mark. There's just enough question marks over some of these guys for me to leave them at the shorter prices. John Rahm is in there as a general 10 to 1 favourite. Won it last year. His driving is tailor-made for this course. But I would just like to see a little bit more from John Rahm, to be honest. He's not been in great form since the birth of his child. Maybe a few sleepless nights, I don't know. But, signs he's getting back to it, but not enough for me to get involved at 10 to 1 favouritism. Rory McIlroy is still in the middle of his swing reinvention with Pete Cowan. Obviously, the Valspar Championship win was encouraging, but what we saw since, not so much encouraging. Jordan Spieth last week, he's obviously playing very well, but he did lose that head-to-head against Kokrak, so I wouldn't be rushing to put him up at the prices. DeChambeau's putter is playing him up big time. That's a worry for me because I'm a fan of Bryson, and I think when he's the way he strikes it, he's always a danger in these tournaments. But while that putter's playing up, and that's a few weeks it's happened now, so giving him a wide berth. Justin Thomas out of form. And then I'm coming to these boys in the market that I'm putting up now. What the detractors would say is these guys aren't regular enough winners. Well, that certainly isn't the case for Cantlay, who I'll put up now first and just talk you through that. He's won a couple of times, won the Zozo. He's won another full-strength field event as well. I've spoken about him before. He seems to get a lot of stick for what was basically overachievement early in his career. But look, you can't argue with it. His numbers, his ball striking, he's up there with the best of them. He had a little bit of a dip in form prior to the Masters, but he's roared back since then. Not in terms of the results, but certainly in terms of his strokes gained and his driving. His underlying stats are really encouraging. I like the way it looks this week. The putter's been the problem for him, but I'm just wondering, coming back to a course where he's won previously, whether that'll just give him that confidence, because the putter is very much a confidence club. You know, when you're feeling your putter, you're draining them from all over the place. And equally, when it's not going well, nerves can take over and have a big impact, a bigger impact than your irons and driver, I would say. So just wondering whether the comfort element might get Cantlay a little bit back to the guy that won this tournament 3 years ago in convincing fashion, and the driving and the iron play, no worries about that at all. I think he's going to compete. As for Xander Schauffele, very similar profile. He's had some very encouraging performances here. 3 top 20 finishes. The problem with Schauffele, a lot of people will tell you, is that he just doesn't win enough. And you won't catch me arguing with that. It's a guy that I thought has been destined for major success for a long time. But for one reason or another, he hasn't managed to turn that first win into a succession of wins. He's constantly priced in and around these elite players. A lot of people will say wrongly, but he's just so popular, especially with American punters, because he's a promising young American. He's shown great talent. He's had several top 5 finishes where he's threatened to win. There is a slight question mark over his closing, whether he bottles it and stuff, but I think you look at his previous performances at this course, he obviously loves it at Muirfield. He plays Jack Nicklaus courses very well. His driving will be a big advantage here again, similar to Cantlay. And I just think, you know, when I'm taking somebody from this field, I feel like I have to go towards the top end for at least one, and in this case, 2 of my selections. There's enough question marks over the guys above him for me to go with Schauffele at 22. I do feel like we'll get a run for our money from him. He's proven himself at this course, and I expect another good week from him here. I think you might be on mute, Adam.
Well, that doesn't happen very often, but obviously, given that we're live, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that happens every week.
I'm
just gets edited
today,
out.
I'm outside today. I've been turfed outside for a variety of reasons, but doubles and trebles comes first, and in the background we've got the sirens and the noises.
I'm loving it, and I've just seen the reverse angle of your setup. You've actually got the laptop on some kind of.
I'm on an upside down B&Q 99p orange bucket. Believe it or not,
nobody can accuse us of scrounging on the equipment front. I don't think.
So this time last week, Pie Man, and on other weeks, I've said to you, what is the Pie Man bomb? The bigger price, the outsider, the each way pick of yourself. Last week, as I said at the start, the bomb well and truly detonated with a 50-1 winner. What is the bigger price selection from yourself this week, Pie Man?
The bigger price selection, gonna put it up at 80-1. So yeah, this is a bomb. And this is Mark Leishman. Mark Leishman, a man who was significantly shorter in the market only a few weeks earlier, won the Zurich Classic Pairs event with Cam Smith, where he played fantastically well. The big Aussie, he's competed in all of the best tournaments over the years. He's won numerous times. I don't need to tell you anything about his profile. This is somebody that, he's got 7+ PGA titles to his name. The issue with Leishman has probably been the driver in recent weeks, but all other facets of his game look to be in good working order. He's got a bit of course history here that I like, and I just don't really know why he's tumbled down the market so quickly. It seems like he was a little bit of a flavour of the month that has been and gone. And I've mentioned this before with golf markets and stuff. Sometimes if you're not a fashionable name, people have quite a short-term memory, and it's definitely a case of bigger names turning up here after a little bit of a break, and Leishman just being dismissed a little bit. I know he missed the cut at the PGA Championship. If we just go a little bit back from that, he had tied 21st at the Byron Nelson, where he could have been a lot closer if it wasn't for a few troubles. The Masters, he finished 5th. Very impressed with how he played there. As I say, did well at the Zurich Classic with Cam Smith, where they were both fantastic and won that event. He's only missed, he had a run of 5 weeks where he didn't miss a cut. So I'm just taking out the Arnold Palmer and the players there. But yeah, generally this year he's been very solid. I think he's suited to the course. I don't have any concerns over his scrambling. I think he'll deal nicely with the challenges here. And as I say, a little bit of course history, a little bit of experience. I think he's overpriced at 80 to 1. I think you can get 8 places at that price.
I've got a little bit of bad news for you, Pie Man. You can get 8 places at 70 to 1. You can get 6 places at 80. So I'm guessing that you're going to be going with the 70 to 1.
We'll have to have the 70, yeah, because I mean the 8 places. Look, it's a strong field. I don't want to over exaggerate here. I think Leishman's got a place chance. We'll take the 8 places at 70 in that case.
Right, so to wrap up then, Pie Man, there's 3 selections this week, a point each way on all of them, exactly the same as last week. We're on Xander Schauffele, 8 places, 22 to 1. We're on Patrick Cantley, 8 places, 22 to 1. And then we're on Mark Leishman, 8 places at 70 to 1. So they're the 3 selections this week from yourself, Pie Man, all 1 point each way. Or will be going on the famous doubles and trebles spreadsheet. And like I say, showing a healthy profit so far this season on the golf. If you stick with us, it's a massive week for the channel, really, given that we've got the Epsom and Epsom Derby and Epsom Oaks this weekend. We've got in-depth preview videos of both of those massive races in the world of horse racing. They're up on the channel. There'll be more darts content now that the Premier League has concluded, and there's more darting majors on the horizon. So hopefully, for the tens of thousands that have joined us on this live feed tonight, thanks for the comments. Shout out to a couple in the comments. Brendan Smith's in there. Lee Jones is in there. Centre Circle Podcast is in there, and Big O is in there with the comment that really should finish our video. It simply reads from Mr. O: doubles and trebles are class. We'll end it there, Pie Man?
No need to go on, although I will just say Centre Circle Podcast. I like that comment there. Would you agree golf is the best value sport to bet on? I had an interesting conversation with Adam about this recently, and what I would say is golf is one of those where you need to have strong morals, and I think believe in yourself, because you can have long losing runs with golf. It's not easy to just put up massive field winners and stuff. So you've got to play the long game. I think take your losses on the chin. And it's one I really enjoy putting the picks up for, because when they land that 50 to 1 winner, that's one that everyone can enjoy. And fingers crossed, there's more around the corner. Definitely check out the racing content. Adam's put some great stuff up for the Oaks and the Derby. So if you've just landed on this, go and have a look, and do press subscribe if you enjoy our stuff as well.
Thank you very much. Let's see if we can turn it off, Pie Man. I mean, this live feed might stay on all night for all we know. I mean, it's the first time we've started it.
It's all under control.
Sounds brilliant. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers, guys. See you again. Thanks for the comments as well.